Good morning. It's the 11th of July 2025 and it is simply glorious weather. They used to say long ago in farming that you make the hay and you cut the turf before the 12th of July, that the orange men always get good weather. And that definitely is the case this year. Now, one of the things that have shocked our media, a media which excludes the like of me and other recent opinion givers, is the footage of the bonfire at Mygashel, County Tyrone in Ireland by Orange men and Unionist youths, where they build up a massive pallet-based bonfire. And years ago it used to be Leo Varadkar pushing his LGBTQ stuff on them. He didn't like it. And then it was a police service of Northern Ireland patrol vehicle, a jeep. And that wasn't very nice to burn the police force's vehicle, because the police force have a job to do. And of course the tricolour is always on top, the Irish flag. And this year it was a boat containing about 13 obviously brown or black migrants, the typical migrants, extremely well executed, extremely well done. I have to put my hand here. Why? They went to a lot of trouble getting this boat up, and I presume it was some kind of a real boat. And it was burnt. They were going to dismember it today, the authorities, so they went ahead and, as far as I can see, they set it alight last night and burned it the day before. It's normally the eve of the 12th, this evening, but they burnt it last night. There's one in Belfast as well, and they're saying all types of things about it. We'll see what they will do today. It could cause a lot of civil unrest. Now, we refuse as a people in Ireland and the rest of the world to learn from history. The plantation of Ulster was military force. The Irish did resist it. It was done by a superior country with a superior, larger population. Fighting them meant blood and death on the field, with your own sons and daughters dead, massed in blood. The Irish simply couldn't match the population of the UK and the army it could muster. William of Orange was at the head of it. He fought the British King James. It was a Catholic versus Protestant war, but it had nothing to do with Ireland in reality, except that at that time all the kings agreed Ireland was just a province of the United Kingdom. Ireland was just a province under the United Kingdom. And so the Unionist tradition is embedded in Northern Ireland and will be for a long time to come. And we had a time back in a few years ago when Love Ulster, that were pro-Unionist people, came to Dublin to march from the Garden of Remembrance down to up to the Dáil, I think it was, or up to St. Stephen's Green. Unfortunately, they picked a Saturday when there was a rugby football match on, and there was drink by the locals, and they stoned them and beat them and done all types of things. I myself would not see a problem with doing that again, but organising it properly for a date and a time that would suit us all, and let them march, let's say, from, I would go from the Phoenix Park down along the river, across the bridge, round again at the railway station there, which used to be King's Bridge, and back down Cunningham Road and over to that. There's a graveyard in there dedicated to British soldiers who fought in the First World War. The Queen visited it. It wouldn't be a bad idea, and in the same way as they marched in Rosnowla, because they're part of our tradition, and whether we like it or not. But what I say is, why can we not learn from that? Why can we not see that it's after 300 years we still have the legacy issues and the hatred and the bitterness and all of that that we try so desperately to overcome? And now we do it all again. The Orangemen realise how they came to be there, whether it was fair or not, but they also realise that the migration that's coming into the UK and to Ireland is not by consent. The referendum on the EU, the Brexit, proved that. It's not by consent. So if it's not by consent, the method in which it is put in, whether it's the army, the British army, shooting anyone that stands up to them, the police using batons, riot gear, or some other method, it's all done by force against the will of the people. The Starmer government and the Conservative government, which pushed this, have very weak ratings in the polls. And so the Unionist Orangemen know what's at foot. Somebody is determined to do another plantation, and maybe believes that by filling the place full of Africans, they'll weaken the position of the Unionist vote. Don't forget, Starmer has already given away the Caicos Islands. That's a blow to the UK people. And he's weakened the Gibraltar situation. Spanish police can now decide who is Spanish, who is Gibraltarian. They have given them more powers. And I believe if Starmer got his way, he'd sign over Gibraltar, he'd sign over the Caribbean, the islands the British still have a say in, and he'd sign over Northern Ireland in the blink of an eye. He'd just walk off and leave it to them. I would say he would do that, because he is one unbelievable boy. That is not to say that Irish nationalists should cheer, because along with this comes the woke agenda. The woke agenda. And we see the effects of the plantation of Ulster going back for years. And we see that it's been repeated now again, and we try to resist, a few of us. But the fact is, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, the two political traditional parties, have turned Turk. They have turned for this. And we also see that 8 independents joined the government without ever questioning it. Karen Nolan was one. Verona Murphy was another. The 2 Healy Rays are another. You wouldn't expect anything from Lowry, only a grunt from a pig. But they did it. So we are in the hopeless situation that if we try to vote these creeps out, the people will vote some other independent in who's just the same. But that doesn't mean they're in control. Isn't it a really good thing that the Irish Republic is not in control of Northern Ireland? Why? Because they'd sell us down the river, they'd sell the unions, they'd sell everyone down the river. They're doing it right now. Unfortunately, the British government is doing worse. But in Ireland, there is no hope of democratically overturning the 3 main parties, because our neighbours and our friends are villains. Are villains. That's the reality. Whereas in Northern Ireland, there is a hope that maybe someday in the not too distant future, you would get Reform UK and Nigel Farage running the UK. And he'll horse the whole lot of them home where they come from. Hopefully. You might say to me, Val, you'll soon see. We have to live in hope. Why don't they cut the dole? Why do they give dole to them the minute they land off the boat? They give them more than we get here. They give them better housing. The Irish government is now planning to reduce the size of housing to maisonettes with one window. That's what the Fianna Fáil voters and the Fine Gael voters' children are going to be forced to live in if they want to have a job around the capital city, and maybe in other big towns. Right. That's the situation. I'm glad nobody got hurt in the north. But slowly but surely, there is forging on the island of Ireland a certain amount of unity between people like me, who is a dyed-in-the-wool Irishman, and the Unionists who are marching on the 12th tomorrow. Indeed, I know most of them. I couldn't develop hatred toward them because I know them. I've worked with them, helped them fight the cursed woke green windmills and all that nonsense. And the pylon campaign is going into the north as well. But there is slowly the nucleus or the embryo of better relations between the ordinary people, and that includes those of my neighbours who vote Sinn Féin but don't want what this crowd is doing, what the Sinn Féin crowd are doing. A crowd of Trotskyites, that's all they are. And so that is a start. And if we could nurture that, then wouldn't it be nice? I'd try and take the day off myself if we could have an orange walk in Dublin. And we would go up and we would line the way, and any gougers, any criminals, any thugs full of drink that to think they're going to hop stones off the Orangemen, well, they'll have to get through us as well. And out of that, hopefully, we will forge an Ireland first policy. We will put our own country first, whether it be north and whether it be south, because that's the only way we'll beat these rascals. Meanwhile, you could have a Farage government sometime in the UK, and he will stop it there, hopefully. Stop it. And then we'll be in a stronger position to stop it here. You can call me racist if you like. They're shouting about all the lads on the boat that they have on Depatchy, the mannequins they call it. Nobody in Northern Ireland knows what a mannequin is, and I didn't know it till I looked it up in the dictionary. Go to hell with your flowery language, RTE and BBC. It is black people that's coming over there. But I'll be making another video about black people, and that will try to show you what's behind this. A crowd, a small group who are making billions, who are staying at the top of the social order, the economic order and the political order. And this mass migration is a symptom of letting them have control. Ursula von der Leyen suffered a vote of no confidence in the European Commission. It was beaten. Now, it was well beaten, but there were a good few voted for it. And of course, most Irish MEPs voted for it, including the Fine Gael ones. What else would you expect? We and I have stood against Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, my traditional father's party. I want to dance on their grave. I want to rub it in them, whether you like it or whether you don't. We might yet see the day that we will boo you off the stage, and your stupid Micheál Martin and your Duracell bunny Simon Harris get to hell off our case. We have to poison the view of voters against you. We know what we have with Sinn Féin, but our traditional parties have turned on us. Now, hopefully, I'll make the next video fairly short after this, and it's going to be connected to it, and it's going to give you a little bit of the flavour of it. I hope everyone has a good day tomorrow. I definitely hope it's peaceful, and I would appeal to the Orangemen not to attack or not to engage in violence. When Ballymena, a very staunch loyalist area, rose up, the homes of a Filipino couple that were working there legally and doing a good job were firebombed. I am told that £30,000 was raised to restore the home. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That didn't get any publicity. It's posted under here. The fact that the people in Antrim did not approve of that mistake that was made. And mistakes can happen. And that couple and those children hopefully will get over this, and the best of luck to them. So folks, that's my view. We'll get on with video number 2 in a few minutes. Imagine the Unionists in the north of Ireland facing prosecution for hate speech and incitement to violence. Lucy Conley's in prison. Tommy Robinson's just out. It is a massive, massive invasion, equal, if not worse, than any plantation Ireland suffered in times past. Comment underneath. We'll see you back for this next video soon.